Sandra Day O'Connor was born in 1930 in El Paso, Texas, but she grew up on the remote Lazy Bee Ranch straddling the Arizona-New Mexico line. From that landscape, she absorbed habits that would define her for many people: self-reliance, plain speech, and a practical sense that problems are meant to be solved. O'Connor enrolled at Stanford at just 16, studying economics before entering Stanford Law School. She finished near the top of her class, but when she went looking for work, law firms offered her secretarial positions instead of attorney roles. She took a different road, working in county government, raising a family, and building experience in public service that eventually carried her into elected office. In the 1960s, she entered politics in Arizona, winning a seat in the state Senate and later becoming its majority leader, the first woman in the nation to hold that post. Colleagues from both parties noticed her calm temperament and talent for compromise. She preferred workable answers to ideological victories, and that reputation followed her to the judiciary, where she became a state judge. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan fulfilled a campaign promise by nominating the first woman to the Supreme Court of the United States. The appointment changed the visual history of the court overnight. Over the next quarter century, she often stood at the decisive center of the bench. In some cases, she sided with conservatives, in others with liberals, but her opinions typically turned on narrow reasoning and attention to real-world consequences. She defended a role for precedent, worried about sweeping rules, and insisted that the law had to function in the lives of ordinary people. The case of Grutter v. Bollinger, decided in 2003, is commonly cited as her most important opinion. The case asked whether a public university's law school could consider race as one factor among many in admissions in order to achieve educational diversity. O'Connor wrote the majority opinion, which said yes, within limits. She concluded that student body diversity is a compelling governmental interest and that the University of Michigan Law School's individualized, holistic review process was narrowly tailored. The rules shaped affirmative action law for 2 decades and became the framework universities relied on until it was later overturned in 2023. Beyond specific rulings, her presence altered expectations. Young women saw new possibilities in the legal profession. Institutions began to look differently simply because she was there. She mentored, she lectured, and after retiring in 2006 to care for her ailing husband, she devoted herself to civic education, warning that democracy depends on citizens who understand it. In her later years, as illness withdrew her from public life, the image that endured was the one formed long ago on the ranch: steady, modest, and determined. Sandra Day O'Connor died in 2023 at the age of 93.